Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? You're Tyler.
You're Tyler.
You're Tyler. Okay. But what am I? What am I? What am I?
A master.
A master.
A master.
I'm more than that.
Alright, yeah, we know. You're Frogs Master 595.
Frogs Master 595.
Frogs Master 595.
Frogs Master 595. Frogs Master 595. Hey guys, this is Frogs Master 595, and wow, I just realized it today. I should have realized it like the 15th or a few days before. Well, at the beginning of this month, I knew it was coming, and then I just kind of forgot once the day came. But today I just remembered. Yeah, right before I decided to do this, I looked to see if I had done a video, or I should say a second video relating to this already, because I remember the first one I did, but I did do a second one. And this is the third. Probably shouldn't really do another one after this, but maybe. But I think that should be a wait, I would say. Yeah. This is Evil Ways. And I've had her for over 12 years. Yeah. That's a while. That's quite a while. I don't think many collectors can say they've had a certain item for 12 years. Yeah, that's where we're at. The last time I did a video like this, she turned 8. Not really a turned 8. I mean, obviously she was older than that, and right now she's older than 12 from when she was actually made. But I'm just going off of when I got her. The last time I did a video like this, I had Evil Ways for 8 years. And then the first time I did a video, an old 2016 video, of course, she was only 3 years old. And actually, yeah, that would have been like one of my very first videos for this Frogs Master channel. Yeah. Even if you count those item uploads that used to exist, but like 95% of you will not remember those. But those did exist, but they were deleted, though. I don't really know why they were, really, but they were just some item upload videos that came before the update videos, the first videos on this channel. But anyway, there was the 3 years old video, the 8 years old video, and now this is the 12 years old video. Not as much of a gap from the 3 years to 8 years, but it's still a gap. But if I do this again, I should probably wait until she's 20, because that would be cool. Funny that I never did a 10 years old one. That would have probably been better than doing an 8 years old one, but I was probably just feeling impatient at the time. But we shouldn't really need to do a 15 years one. Next, it's just a few years after the one I'm doing right now. I should keep it spaced out and not do it too much. And this is my third time doing it already, so I suppose if I just wait until she's 20, I can do it again. And after that, maybe that should be the last time I do a video like this. I don't know. I feel like this is the only item I've really done these kind of videos with. Probably, maybe there's something else around here somewhere, but I don't know for sure. But I don't know. There's a lot to look at over there, but who knows? But here we are. 12 years. This Jemmy Frogs. Evil ways. I mean, you know, she still has those store batteries in there. And I know it because they expired in March 2013. And she still works. Well, if you hold onto her head, then the batteries die. But if you don't, she should still get through the whole song. I mean, I haven't played her in a little bit, but last time I actually checked on her batteries, though, was in July of last year, so I really need to do that, but it's going to be happening soon. Don't worry. But yeah, luckily it's not like there's Rarity in here, so I don't need to be worrying too much. And Candy Shop, the next frogs that I got after her, he has Rarity, but he has the old Rarity, the much better one. He's had those ever since June 2013, and last I checked him, he wasn't corroded at all. It seems weird with Candy Shop. He always feels like he was my third frogs. In this, collecting era. Huge era. 12-year-long, still going era. But, yeah, it always feels like Candy Shop was the third. But he wasn't. He was the second frogs. Because the one in between Evil Ways and Candy Shop was Val, You Dropped a Bomb on Me. It just makes me want to just say the Candy Shop was the third frogs, but he wasn't, because You Dropped a Bomb on Me is not a frogs. There is no You Dropped a Bomb on Me frogs. Or is there? No, there's not. But look, 12 years, and look how good she still is. Look at how well I've taken care of her. I've done a good job, I would say. Yes, there is some dust, but that's not damaging it at all. It's not going to make it break. I don't think she has ever fallen off of anything. She's never been roughly handled with, which that pretty much goes for, everything that I have. She's never had corrosion. Hope she doesn't have any in there now. I would doubt it, though. Still works good. Although I do feel like when she does get these new batteries, which is probably going to be very, very soon, probably going to be this year, to be honest, it's a little scary because she does work perfect, but I feel like when she finally gets new batteries, because even when I got her, which I believe I got her April, I don't remember the exact date, I'll admit, but I know for 100% it was April 2013. I feel like it was April 15th, but it could have been April 14th, April 13th, April 16th. Definitely April 16th or before, and definitely after, or definitely April 13th or after. So I either got her April 13th, 14th, 15th, or 16th. I'm pretty sure it was April 15th, but I could be wrong. But look, even way back then, way back then, 12 years ago, April 2013, the same batteries were in her, the same ones that are in her right now, because they have to be, because again, expired March 2013. Way back then, when I opened her out of that package, she had her like actual like box too, but that's yeah, I didn't care about the boxes back then. It's a shame, because the box looked really good too. And when these show up on eBay, they usually don't have the box. This one had it. Would have been really good if I had not gotten rid of it. I really regret that. It hurts. But look, when I opened her up though on that April day, it was from what I remember at least, it was a very happy sunny day after getting home from fourth grade school day. This was in the classic, well, none of the videos of this are on this channel, of course, but still classic to me, the pink carpet house. That is where she first was, in that house, not the classic Frogs Master house. But anyway, way back then, in April 2013, when I opened her up, those batteries, the same ones that are in her right now, even way back then, 12 years ago, April 2013, just think about it. Even way back then, those batteries, the ones that are still in her now, way back then, 12 years ago, April probably 15th, 2013, those batteries were still expired. Yes, I edged out that little thing right there because I wanted to. They were still expired. Still. You go back 12 years and they were still expired. Only by a month, but they were still expired. And back then, it's 12 years ago, obviously she was much faster, moved much faster. But they were still expired. That's just how you know, like, those had to have been the store batteries, because this would have been put into the stores, like, in what, like, Halloween, around, like, you know, a little bit before Halloween 2007, right? That's when she would have been in the stores. Maybe 2008. I think it's possible it could have been like 2007 or 2008, but because I would imagine they were probably in some stores for both of those years. This was released in 2007, though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And actually, I think where she was sold was, funny enough, this is like how modern Gemmy items are, but I think she was actually sold at, like, Lowe's or Home Depot, actually. Isn't that funny? Lowe's and Home Depot, two of the main stores that Gemmy really uses today. And I think that's where she was sold. And it may have only been those two. It may have only been, like, Lowe's and Home Depot because of her being a Halloween item. But, yeah. That really is it's just so crazy to me. Like, it's almost as crazy as the fact that I've had her for 12 years. That alone is insane. But I think what's just also right up there with being so crazy is that when I got her, way back then, these same batteries were still expired. And, there was always that tiny bit of a chance they could have been corroded then. But and it wouldn't have been as much of a chance as, like, older frogs that were made a couple years before, or just a year before. Again, this maybe was one that wasn't put into that store until 2008, maybe. Because, again, I feel like these probably were in some stores in 2008, too. Not just 2007. But maybe it could have just been 2007, because this is rare. It's not, like, rare, but it definitely is rare. And yeah, I would, yeah, it's got to be more rare than the Disco Inferno one. It must be. It's got to be. That one is still rare, though. But this one is more rare. And, those other Halloween frogs, were there others that just could have been released and they're just that rare? I don't know, maybe. But this video is not about them. This is about Evil Ways. It's been a long time. And it's just going to continue to just become a longer and longer and longer time. Because for frogs like this, she can never go. She can't. She was the item that started the collecting era. The item. And she's a frogs. She's the frogs. And it's Evil Ways. I mean, look at this. Think about it. Obviously, there is a fair amount of frogs collectors. Maybe not as much now as there were like a few years ago, but there is still a handful. Quite a handful. How many of them can say that Evil Ways was their first frogs? I don't think any of them can. Really. I think even for the ones that are private, I doubt this would have been their first frogs. That would be crazy. Now, of course, that goes for only collectors. Anyone that just wanted just a decoration or something that gets Halloween decorations, yeah, maybe they would have this as like maybe their only Halloween decoration, but that doesn't count. We're just talking about collectors or private collectors. Assuming that there are private collectors, surely there is. Maybe. We'll never know. Private. But, yeah. Now, I know this wasn't actually my first frogs because, of course, I got all those ones from my parents, other family members. But in this collecting era, from getting one, online, not in the stores, which I know isn't as cool as getting them in the stores, but still, look. In this collecting era, she was the first. She made it all begin. She made Frogs Master begin. She made Koopa Kid begin. She made me begin. Oh, I shouldn't say begin. That seems a little weird. She made a part of me begin again, but this time in a collector way and not a rough play with them way. Yeah, let's not get into that. Well, again, as I said, you can see she is held up very well after all these years. If only she had that box. And oh, that box, yeah, I definitely think, well, maybe it wasn't thrown out on the first day. Maybe the box stayed for a little bit. Wait. Actually, no, it probably was thrown out on the first day. Actually. Yeah, that really sucks. But let's not focus on that. Obviously, her button pad is worn. She's been played many, many times. Many. But that could always be replaced, I suppose. But that's not really something I'm worrying about when it comes to one like her, a frogs like her that I've had for so long. And look, I know she's not the only one. There's a lot of frogs now that I've had for a really long time. A lot of them. But still, she is the oldest. She's the first in this collecting era. And I think I may have been, I think I was getting into this and I went into something else, but look, a frogs like her, this evil ways that I've had for this long, she's not going anywhere. I can't get rid of her. I can't do some trade involving her. I can't sell her. I can't do anything like that. And in case it's not extremely obvious, of course she would never be thrown out for any reason. Even if she got really, really, really broken and crazy, stupid, weird, dumb situation where, I don't know, she gets really, really bad condition. Still, she wouldn't go anywhere. She's never going to go anywhere. She'll never go to the iFrogsy. She'll never go to the Chris Skater. She'll never go to the LFZ, if you know who that is. She will never go to the Funky Ah. Never. Not even him. She only belongs with me. She stays here. This is her home. I am her home. Evil ways will always be with me. She's way too important for multiple different reasons. And you know, I think I brought this up in the video where she was 8 years old, but when I had only had her that first year, 2013, maybe only for the first few months, I was crazy overprotective with her. Really, I got way too serious with the overprotectiveness. Of course, I'm still very protective of my stuff, but oh boy, then I was very nervous about it and very overprotective because of, all the Jimmy stuff and all the other animatronic things I had before where, yeah. But, in 2013, I didn't quite realize, those weren't all breaking because they were so cheap. For most of the things, anyway. Probably maybe none of that stuff was cheap then, because that was all, animatronics from the late 2000s, early 2010s. No, some of the early 2010s ones probably weren't the most well-made. Anyway, in 2013, I was just kind of thinking that, these things must be really cheap. You got to be really careful. No, it was because I was the problem. I was the issue. I was too rough. Very much so. These aren't some cheap little things. They were just mishmashed together. No. I was the cheap one. I was the faulty one. I was the one that deserved to be thrown out. Which none of those ones that I had in those early years in the pink carpet house, none of those should have been trashed. Imagine if they were all still around somewhere. That would be crazy. But no, they were definitely all thrown out because I said that they should all be in like 2010 or 2011. I don't like thinking about that either. And yet 2 years later, and I didn't think to start keeping the boxes. Huh. Oh well, I guess. Maybe one day I'll get an Evil Ways box. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. But anyway, I know there is obviously some dust on her in some spots. I don't know exactly where for sure. There's her screw. I got to get that out because I don't need the screws in these anymore. The screw is not a part of the item. Jemmy would probably say it is, but I say no. But that battery door, that is a part of the item, but the screw doesn't need to be. It's just a screw. Who cares? I'll save the screw, though. I won't throw it out, just in case. I'm glad that none of these plastic pieces were snapped off when it was taken out of the box. You know, I don't think I definitely didn't take her out of the box. My dad definitely would have. 100%. I think that goes for, well, no, Candy Shop wasn't even zip tied in his box. There was a little situation with that. I don't know if I ever brought it up. Probably did. Probably multiple videos on his channel where I brought it up. Anyway, we won't get into that, though. I'm glad none of these plastic pieces snapped. They're still on here, and they will always be on here. And there's her tag right there, as you can see. And it's very good. It's not worn well. I mean, okay, there's like tiny little marks, but look, it still looks, that's a tag that still looks pretty good, I would say. And then the other part of it, the other, you know what it is. There's a string. Oh, this is from the tag. We could pull that off. Those appear every now and then on frogs. You could just pull those off. It's not going to do anything. Who knows how long that string was there for? Maybe that string's been there since 2013 when they got it. You never know. Zip tie is in here somewhere. Don't need to go pulling on that. Oh, look, there's more strings. That probably doesn't need to be cut, though. This video is like 30 minutes long, and I haven't shown the back yet. I did all those little camera angle funny things in the beginning of the video to make it special, and yet I have not shown the sides or anything of her. I mean, there she is. It's Evil Ways. I'm pretty sure the hat is supposed to be skinny like that. I think maybe not, though. I don't really know 100%. This isn't exactly a frogs that you see a lot. Or like there's not a lot of pictures of or anything, so. And again, I know she's not rare, but still. This belt thing is probably supposed to be a little bit lower, maybe. I would think. I don't know if that'll really go down. See what I mean? Feel like, wait a minute, maybe not. Okay, I don't know. Now I'm just really looking at the details. Yeah, there's probably some dust. Probably not really here. It's mainly on the hat, but every once in a while I try to get some of it off, but just trying to wipe it off is going to be hard. And this is black. There's a lot of black on this, so the dust is going to be really easy to see, unfortunately, but dust is the only thing that can go wrong here. until this year, probably when it gets new batteries. And then that's when I'm going to be worried that her arms are going to not split, but snap, because they're going to rise up really fast. These arms have they've not risen up really fast in, well, ever since she was in that store, wherever that was. I wonder if her box said what store she was from. Oh, see, that's why I wish I had that box. But when she gets the new batteries, I'm definitely going to do a little short on it. And, like I did with the yellow on the road again. And I was right about what was going to happen there. But I'll do a little short for Evil Ways here. I'm sure her head'll be fine, but maybe we'll see something happen there too. But these arms, when those new batteries go in and that button is pressed, I think those arms are going to snap right away. I really think they will. Maybe not, but I really think they will. I don't know if there's dust on this belt buckle. I don't know. Who knows? There's always going to be dust coming back onto this one. I mean, again, it's a lot of black, and dust just goes on everything. Unfortunately, I need like a lint roller. That'll help. Although, well, I guess that would kind of help, but that's a lint roller, though. It's a little different. But I think from a little bit of experience, lint rollers don't exactly always work. Although that wasn't exactly being tested on Gemmy stuff or animatronics. That was on a plusher too. But that was also different fabric. Whatever. I don't know. We'll see. What does the future hold for Evil Ways here? I don't know. Who knows what the future holds? Anything could happen. Hopefully, her next years, her next decades, the rest of her century, hopefully it is a bright and happy one. I hope it continues to be a bright and happy one, which it has always been through the 12 years that she's been with me so far. With her first owner, I would assume she's only been with one other owner. Hopefully, she was doing good there. Probably, considering when I got her in April 2013, she was all good. But, yeah, she's never going to have another owner, so I think she will be in good hands, unless if something really scary or crazy happened. And then, when I'm gone, well, I don't know. Where's she gonna go? It better not be the trash. We can't let that happen. Not Evil Ways. Not her. She's the reason for the existence of Koopa Kid. Probably. And probably other reasons too, but she plays a role in it. But I know this has been a long video, and I know there's also the elephant in the room, but at this point, I don't even think it's worth explaining or talking about it anymore. It's just going to get so repetitive. You probably know what I'm talking about, but, this is a new video, and for me, it's an important one. Most of you probably don't care that much, but I just wanted to talk about her. She's Evil Ways. She means a lot to me, and it's always going to be that way. I'm never not going to love this one. She'll always be a very good Gemmy Frogs to me. And I think a lot of people actually don't really like this one all too much, I think. It's just, I feel like that's how it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of people don't like it too much. But I think pretty much everyone actually likes the Disco Inferno one more. But no, this one's better. I think better in every way, pretty much, actually. But anyway, this has been a long video. It should be coming to an end. We don't need it to become 40 minutes. It's already getting well into the 30-minute area, so... Yep, Evil Ways. I'll give you one last look at her, just turning her so you can see. Very, very peak frogs. You cannot go wrong with it, in my opinion. Yep. It's Evil Ways, and maybe she can have a box again. But that's going to be a little tough, I think. But maybe with the help of our friend Sauvier. If you know who I'm talking about there. Alright. You know, I never really notice this till recently, but her eyes aren't actually, they're not exactly like the most straight looking. Like this one, if you actually really look, it's a little silly looking. Never really realized that till just now, but the reason why I never probably realized that its eye there is a little bit of in a silly position is probably just because of how much I've always cared and cherished and really appreciated and loved this frog. So I'm probably just noticing this now. Or wait a minute, shouldn't I have noticed it like right away if I really cared about it that much? Okay, let's not think about that, but look, you know it's the truth. You know that I obviously really care about this. I mean, look at how long I've been talking about it for. Okay, yeah, I know there's a lot of my videos are this long anyway, but still, it's Evil Ways. And out of everyone in this community, I definitely love her the most. Sorry, Funky Man, but you know it's true. And Sauvier is the one that says that he loves frogs more than me. But when it comes to one like this, I love it more. And that's a fact. Alright. Well. Guys. Here's to 12 years and many more. Yeah, see, don't the arms seem a little funny? Yeah, with those new batteries, I don't know. Anyway, I'll play her again. Yeah, I'm sure her batteries are gonna have to get changed this year. She's getting really slow. One more time, 3 times the charm. Here you go. Peace.